everybody, I'm back today with a new process video for you for Hip Kit Club, and I'm using the February 2015 Hip Kit and add-on kits, but I did something a little bit different this week. I actually created two layouts. I'm only doing a video for one though, and I kind of mixed in some product from the January Hip Kit that I had left over, and I also, on this layout, I'm going to use some of the Dear Lizzie thickers that were in the December kit. They're gold and very pretty. So I just wanted to mix in some products from the other kits just to show how far your kits can go and how easy they are to mix together. And I started this layout using the We Are Memory Keepers Love Notes collection paper for my background. It has a really pretty watercolor look, so you didn't have to do much to it. But I wanted to add a little bit of black paint behind the area where my layers and my photo and all my embellishments would be, just to kind of separate that from the background. So that's what I did with some of the Reeves watercolor paint. I just added the black there in the background. And now I'm layering some pieces from the 6x6 We Are Memory Keepers paper pad that was in the February Hip Kits. And you'll see that I'm going all out Wilna on this layout with my glue gun because my tape runner has been out of adhesive and I haven't been to pick any up, and I tried to get some at Hobby Lobby today, and of course they were out of the refills. So I'm hoping to get to Michael's tomorrow and get a refill for my tape runner, because for the past probably 3 or 4 layouts I've had to use my glue gun. So hopefully I can get a refill at Michael's. I'm hoping they're not out, so we'll see tomorrow. And I'm just adding some embellishments around my photo. I used a couple of the pieces from the My Mind's Eye mixed bag that's in the February Hip Kits. And I'm adding just some of those chipboard pieces from the crepe paper sheet that's also included. And now you can see where I'm mixing in some of the products from the January Hip Kit. I used that frame, that's an Amy Tangerine wood veneer frame that was in the January kit, and now I'm going to also add that little cork embellishment that's to the side that was in the January kit, and it's from Elle's Studio. And you'll also see that I'm going to just mix in a couple of pieces of the transparent ephemera pieces from the Heidi Swap pack that was also included in the January Hip Kit. And on my other layout I have some of those items on that page too, which you can see up on the Hip Kit blog if you visit there. And this photo was from our little girls had a birthday party sleepover at the first weekend in February, and they just had a few friends over. There actually ended up being 9 girls, and so I told them they had to get a photo together, and I was quite amazed that I actually got them all to sit down and smile. I told them if they did that they could take a funny picture, so that was kind of their motivation to sit down and get a good photo. So I was happy that they did that. And I'm just getting those pieces down with the glue gun just so they'll stick a little better. Sometimes those chipboard pieces like to fall off, so it's always good if you can add a little extra adhesive just to help those stay in place. And I kept my title simple on this one. I just used that, there's a little chipboard phrase on that crepe paper chipboard piece that says lovely, or so lovely actually. I just left the so off and used the word lovely to add there over the top of my photo. And once I get those in place, I'm going to also just add some adhesive with the glue gun to those to keep it in place. And I actually wish I would have moved my frame and banner down just a teeny bit, but because it kind of overlapped a little more on my photo than I wanted it to, but it was still okay because I wanted it to have that overlapping look anyway. Which that is what it gave me. I normally like to create a big title, but since I had a lot going on this page, I decided that that would work perfectly. And now you'll see I'm mixing in some of those gold thickers from the Dear Lizzie Serendipity collection. I really like the look of those. It's more of a matte gold. It's not very, very shiny, so it blends in well on your page. And I'm just adding a few more ephemera pieces there to layer under the frame. I also wanted to bring that gold up to the top, so I grabbed the XO and the little arrow from the Dear Lizzie thickers and just put that at the top of the photo. And I like that they're doing some little hearts and things like that on these word thicker packs lately, so those little hearts were kind of perfect just to use at the top and the bottom of the page. And I didn't put it on then, but I do go back and grab another one just to add up there by the XO at the top. And there, I'm sticking that one on right there at the top. And then the little cork embellishment, it just says good times, so I thought that was a cute sentiment to add to the page. I have to get all those little strings off from the glue gun because they drive me crazy. Sometimes I go back and use my heat gun to kind of melt them off and get rid of them. Now I'm going to add some of those enamel dots from the My Mind's Eye Jubilee collection. The colors really blend in well with the watercolor look on the We Are Memory Keepers background paper, and I wanted to add in that pop of green just to pick up some of that green that's in the background. So those worked really well together. And I'm going to add some drops of color shine, so I wanted to cover up the majority of my photo and embellishments there. And this time I'm just going to use the nozzle to drip some of the sprinkles on instead of using my brush, just to add more of a messy look to the page, since it's kind of artsy looking with the watercolor look. And that one didn't do what I wanted it to, so I just took the nozzle and kind of spread it out to make it a little bigger there. And I do go back, I didn't do it here on the video, but once I finish up, I wanted to add a little more black up there around the Hey There chipboard piece. So once I got done filming, I did go back and add some more paint and gave it more of a softer look, since it had the rough edges on what I painted earlier. So you'll see that at the end of the video where I added the extra paint. And if you'd like to check out all the kits from Hip Kit Club, you can visit the hipkitclub.net website. We actually have our March kits that have been revealed and are available for purchase if you would like to check those out. And I'm just going to add a couple more things there. And if you would like to check out my blog, you can go to ashleyhortondesigns.com to see more of my work. And here is the finished layout and a few close-ups. Thanks for watching today. I hope you'll join me next time.